So first, I wanted to talk about shifting the culture in schools. So we've heard a lot in this panel about creating a safe space for everyone in the classroom. And I feel like a big part of shifting the culture is ending the victim blaming and shaming of someone who feels harassed. And oftentimes, if someone is harassed, they feel like they brought it on, whether it was if their skirt was too short or if their pants were sagging, or different things can make people believe that it's their fault. And so I feel like a big part of shifting the culture in schools is to make sure that people who are harassed know that they're not to be blamed. And something that can aid in shifting the culture in schools around sexual harassment is coming up with clear and definitive language that articulates exactly what sexual harassment is. Girls for Gender Equity is part of CGES, the Coalition for Gender Equity in Schools. CGES created a list of 5 core beliefs that guide our work in schools. 1. Sexual harassment is unwanted and unwelcome behavior of a sexual nature. 2. Sexual harassment has no gender, race, class, sexuality, and/or ability. 3. Sexual harassment is not flirting. 4. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender harassment is sexual harassment. And 5. No one deserves sexual harassment. And so that's the point that I really want to harp on, because I feel like a lot of times, especially I've heard in my school, if someone is harassed, they're like, well, what did they say to bring that on? Were they smiling when they were harassed? And so I feel like it's really important for the administration, the students, to understand that no one deserves it. And I think also the question is, how do we take these key principles off the page and into the classrooms and into the streets? And Girls for Gender Equity is helping to do this through middle schools and high schools around the city. And I remember at my school, we did a Hey Shorty workshop for the students. And in the beginning, we have a big piece of paper, and it says, sexual harassment is ... And the students are allowed to come up and say how sexual harassment shows up in their lives. So whether it's, we got responses like, when someone touches your butt in the hallway, or when someone disrespects you in a sexual way and you don't want that attention. And I feel like it's very, very important for people to have a space where they can say exactly what sexual harassment is to them, because I feel like that's when it becomes real, when they're given agency and a voice and they're not having people talk down to them and telling them, this is what sexual harassment is, don't do it. But when the students are allowed to talk to each other and say, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. Or when someone grabs my arm in the hallway and whispers in my ear, it makes me feel this way. So that way people can really have the space to articulate it in a way that supports everyone. And so now, we're gonna try one of these activities that we lead in our workshops in schools. I believe there's volunteers. Right, yes. I'm sorry, are we not giving out?
Yeah, the cards are out.
Excellent. Okay, so this is an activity called Okay, Not Okay. And basically what we do is we have the students read the cards and really begin to see to set their own boundaries, because I feel like a lot of times, especially growing up in the city, going on the train on the way to school or being in school, a lot of people don't have the space to say, this makes me feel uncomfortable, or actually this is okay with me. So we're going to give you 2 minutes to turn to someone next to you. If you're not next to someone, perhaps turn behind you and make a new friend. And look at what's on your card and really think for a second and see if it's okay with you. You can share either a short story about a time it's happened to you, or say why it's okay or not okay. Thank you.